Hey. So I was supposed to contact a rehab center today, and you know, sister mentioned that, and she actually called for me, make sure that the woman was ready to talk to me. So I called her yesterday, and I left her a message, and then this morning she called around like 9 or 10 o'clock, and I was still sleeping. I was like, I'll call you back in a little while, and then I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? Why should I go into a rehab, right, that I myself in other videos kind of like shut down, in a sense where they're not really helping the people. They're trying to get the people back into a mode of thinking that. And I know, I'm sorry if I said they're not. I'm sure they help. They help. They definitely help in a certain way. But I'm saying they don't help in sometimes the right way for that person, because they push people to go back to a life, go back to, say, being a productive member of society, and that really makes people believe that person's gonna, okay, they're finding it. They got a job again. They're back to their life again, their normal life. The thing of it is, their normal life is the thing that they try to get away from. When and they try to get away from it once in a while. It's like, okay, I'm back from the normal. I'm back to the normal life, but at least I had this experience. And then it becomes a problem because of the addictive qualities of stuff. Number one, and then two, the fact that you end up sometimes liking that life better than the normal life. So the drug rehabs, what they do for people is they get them back. And if it's somebody that really was into the life before and got pulled away and sent back, that's fine. But for me personally, to go to a rehab now would be foolish, because what I know, I have to detox, right? I know I had some stuff in myself that really caused a lot of negative stuff coming down. So instead of going to somewhere where they're going to take everything away from me, including my phone. They're going to give me cigarettes, let me smoke cigarettes, so I get to go outside and smoke cigarettes every 20 minutes, because a half hour, because that's what you end up wanting to do, because you don't have the thing that was, that you're addicted to if you're going in there for addiction. So that's the concept. And then you have, food and candy. That's the things you really like. Try to replace that addictive quality and addictive thing that's grabbed hold of you. And then, you have the groups, that you go into each one of the groups, and then you have chores to do, where you have to clean up and do other things. So that's the rehab that I've been to a while ago. And it's okay if you want to really get back into the life that you had, but if you really if you're really a certain type of person that just you came across this problem, and then it and now you got to solve it, and you solve it. How do you solve it? Okay, so I ended up getting the same hotel room. Now I got the same hotel in the not the 3-star, 2.5-star places, which are the rooms are all basically the same, as opposed to the other places. And I find that I've been to like the Sheraton and the Holiday Inn Express. And I find that at least so this place, first of all, is the only place that had a weekly rate. So now I'm here for a week. And instead of spending $100 to $150, more like $150, going to $200 a day, and the weekends it's like I'm now spending about $700 for the week. Try it this way. I do it for 2 weeks if I have to. But in these 2 weeks, I will create the same thing that would happen in the rehab center, which is me really just getting away from a lot of the things that pull me into certain things, and getting my head back together, and maybe getting up and doing the things that I was doing before. I'm not gonna go to the center. Try not to. I'll try to go once in a while, but it's kind of my escape. And the thing it is, I'm sure I can do it on my own, and I get to not cut off weed, which is what I'd like to do, and I'm not going to stop doing it, and I'm not going to stop doing it for anybody, because it is the gift from God. And if you don't believe that, then you've never tried it. And so please, I understand that the people have that enjoy it. It's not an addiction. It's like, it's like you enjoy a cup of coffee, you enjoy a good, um, you know, smoke of a or vape or whatever you want to do with it, of a plant that God gave you to be able to express yourself better and to feel better about life, and to feel more of a connection to that life. So, and I get to like go out and do things, and my phone isn't taken away, and the things that I am like, because the phone's taken away because they don't want you to have, the connections that you had to buy so the phone and anything, and all of a sudden you're in the rehab and you're like, okay, I don't have my phone, okay, so what? So do your chores, and eat and smoke cigarettes, and and if you don't want to smoke, you can get the patch, or the gum. So not to put down rehab centers, they help people, and I'm not in any way saying that they don't. But there's certain people that they it just becomes, okay, so I have to go into one because my sister says one, because other people that love me in my life say I need to go and I need to get the help. They don't understand that the help is there. You just need to accept the help yourself. So if the help is forced upon you, what happens a lot in these rehab centers is repeat visitors, repeat people, and come back in, over, and just like the mental institutions, over and over and over again, because they go back to their lives, they go back to the things that, if they have a bad criminal record or something, something that's not good, they work at McDonald's or Wendy's, or, they have to get jobs that, or not even that, they have to get jobs in places where, you got a criminal record, sorry. But it was, I know, but no, that one, that's we don't want to associate with you. Okay? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, this beautiful place. I'm gonna be staying for weekly now, and that's gonna help me save money. And I'm now in a place. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back to that. You're working in this thing, productive member of society, but then after a while, it just becomes routine, and you keep on forcing yourself not to, and then something really devastating happens. Yeah, something that really oh man, what am I gonna do? Right? What am I gonna do now? No, I can't. And you try yourself, and it just keeps on coming. Why does it keep on coming like that? Because the universe wants you to learn how to overcome it. And if you're still feeling like, maybe you have to go and do it again, and then go through the same pain to then release that pain and then become what that is. So the repeat person becomes this person that it didn't work for them. And if that thing that they have to go back to every time is not helping, it's just helping for a short time. It doesn't understand that this person, he doesn't want to go back to that life. Maybe he needs to do something else. Maybe he needs to open up a creative side of himself or herself that allow them to tap into something else that doesn't make them crazy and doesn't make them feel routine and bored. Because that's what ends up happening. You get routine and bored. You wake up, right? You eat breakfast. You go to work, right? You eat dinner, or in between you eat lunch. You eat dinner, right? And then you go watch some TV. Maybe work out a little bit. Maybe if you're like, but if not, just watch TV and you go to sleep and you do that over and over and over again. Right? Over and over. And then you go out to a drink on a Friday, or go to dinner or a movie. But it's still the routine. And that routine, after a while, if it's somebody that has experienced a lot of different things and a lot of different substances, his experience, that routine becomes insane. That routine becomes insanity for them. So they go back out, right? And they do that thing, and after a while they go, and then more things pop up on them, and then they have to overcome it. They haven't found the way to overcome it. But if the place come back to the rehab center, we'll give you docs, detox, and then we'll let you do all the things that you have to do. The groups are very important to them. The lectures and all these things are very important. And that person goes, but what is it geared towards? Going back to him working or at McDonald's or at this place as a short order cook. And nobody, well, I didn't check his background. But he's a good guy. I can tell. That's what people go through, right? And those are the people, personally, that I know that do not get anything from those rehabs. Unless they really pound themselves for the rest of their life. They pound themselves every time something. It's like, no, I can't do this. It's going to destroy me. Yeah. And you spend your whole life doing that, man. I mean, why do you think why do you think the universe wants to send you these things? And why is it repeating to you? Because you haven't overcome it. The reason I haven't overcome my addictions is because I haven't overcome them yet. And me pounding them down, no. I'm never gonna 15, 20 years sober. It doesn't do anything for me in this lifetime. And you know what does? Facing them and overcoming them without having to go to rehab. Overcoming them and finding a way to do it that doesn't require me having to now go back to, and I was a musician now for a while. I was all these things for a while. A sound healer, right? And before that, I was a banker. I mean, I was a programmer in mostly banks and insurance. That's where I started, as a banker, and became a tech guy and did all this, all these places that were just like, so that's what that place wants me to do. It doesn't want me to go back to my healing center. It doesn't want me to go back to the things that I am communicating with spirits and guides that will guide me through from other dimensions. They don't want to hear that shit. That's the product of the drug. That is the problem. Then that is pushed away for a boxed life. An 8-hour awake, 8-hour asleep. An 8-hour, you get to do whatever you want in those 8 hours, and you're probably going to chase after money somehow, or do something for money for that reason. And no, when I talk about the things that I talk about money, it's not because of any kind of thing that I'm on. It's because I'm communicating with something around me that then comes back and out to people and to these videos now, and to whoever wants to listen to me. And if you don't listen to me, tell me off. Don't listen to the video. But if you understand what I'm saying, that we as a society are not in balance with everything around us. Instead, we're like so different than everything else. And then we wonder why we're not communicating with spirits and the universe and all these things that like these spiritual and holy people supposedly do, right? Because we are not in that same balance that everything is, and this is everything is perfect. I mean, in this whole universe around us, in this whole reality, everything is perfect around us. It's just us that messes it up because we don't know how to tap into that. We lost that with tribal cultures when the tribal cultures were wiped away, and the ones that are left, like I said, I don't want to speak to us. They're waiting for us to go. Oh man, when is it our time again? So I'm not sure how I got onto that either, but I say again, it is the person needs to have that ability to understand it. Do you want to go back into the workforce, or do you want to do something more creative and not think about that as much? But usually they have to be pushed back into the workforce because they just spent so much money being in that place, and they have to pay the 20% and blah blah blah, and then they're probably broke because they spent all their money on the thing that they got addicted to and brought them in there. So then when they go out, they have to live with family or something, or and not even have that's usually the case. So then what are you gonna do? You got to stick them back in a job for 8 hours so they pay their bills. They can pay their bills. So that's not for me. And I'm sorry for anybody that thought I was, oh yeah, that's so great that you're going to go seek help. And oh boy, we're so happy for you for going into it and understanding and taking the first step of whatever all those things are, right? They represent something that is not me. You don't know me. Most people that say that don't really know. They just know what they read. They see me drumming, whatever it is, but you don't really know me, right? So this is what I'm telling you is me. That would not work for me. I would come on and go like, oh my God, I just wasted 21 days, just like I wasted 24 days in a freaking psych ward, right? Oh yeah, maybe I connect with people and figure out things. But the thing of it is that I don't that doesn't do anything for me because they're not nobody's going to change their minds in there about how to do the job. You know, just like in the psych ward, you know, it's like, oh, why don't you suggest meditation and you know and yoga and all these other things that I was kind of showing them to do. The other patients. The 20% that shouldn't have been there, you know, the 80, the 20, excuse me, the 80% that shouldn't have been there, the 20% that were in that psych ward, that were, ooh, they should have been there. They're usually in the rooms and walking around crazy. But the other ones were like, hey man, what do you, I don't know how I'm here either. Those people, right? When I showed them the yoga and the meditation and the deep breathing and the tai chi and the you know and all these things and the dancing too and all these things that made them feel like wow this makes me feel good. It's like wow, maybe if they did this instead of the medication that they forced you, medication or meditation. You know, if they and I presented that to some of those people, like, oh yeah, it's a good idea, but you know, blah 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 blah. It's both. Both because we're selling them the medication, get it? So it's the same thing, you know. You know, in these places. So they wouldn't offer something like that. And it's, you know, I've really been there enough. Twice. Once I was supposed to be here for long term, and then I just after 3 days I just got I'm leaving. And every step that I took from my getting my bags to that door, they were like, no, Mr. Houston, don't go. And then he goes, you can't get the cab here. You have to go out all the way outside. So I had to carry my bags from where it is to like I don't know, half a mile maybe. You know, a quarter of a mile to where the front of the gate was because they wouldn't let the cab come in. So I was waiting. I said, just to deter me from leaving. And then I did it and I waited out there. This was in Florida. I waited out there, and I'm like, you know what? I feel so much freer right now, because in there I felt like a prisoner. And if you're gonna be paid, you're gonna pay somebody to make you feel like a prisoner, then I think that's a little crazy. Maybe you should have went to a mental institution. You know. If it's somebody that really needs it, I totally understand. I'm not putting it down in that sense. But when it's kind of forced upon by family, friends, and the people that really don't know what's in that place, you know, and are telling you that's where you need to go. I could have went to a yoga retreat, but I don't got $3,000 to spend right now. I just spent freaking a lot of money on hotel bills that I shouldn't have, because of people and things that have happened to me that shouldn't have happened. I don't know. Maybe they should have. Maybe they brought me here. Yeah. So I'm sorry for everybody that thought that I was going to actually go into rehab. When I said I'm going to rehab tomorrow, it's like I literally meant maybe going to a place, and then I'm like, nah, I'll create my own rehab. Thank you. I don't really need anybody to tell me, oh, he's going to fail. Watch, within a day or two, he's going to just jump right back into it. Really? Are you sure? You shouldn't judge people, right? You shouldn't think that people are going to make mistakes like that. You should. You know, say, okay, good. If that's the way you're gonna do it, I'm 100% behind you. Because you know what? That person has decided on something that, you know, everybody else is telling them, oh, no, you gotta go. You have to go. If you don't go, it's gonna be the end of the world. Those people are the people that are trying to bump people off their path, right? Let the person go where he needs to go, where his higher self is telling, her higher self is telling her to go. Don't interject all these things, because that confuses. You know, that says, okay, well, I don't feel like going, but everybody else thinks I should go, so maybe the only thing I should do is I should go, because everybody else is going to hate me if I don't go. That's really heavy. That's a really heavy burden you're putting on people, and that's not a very nice thing to do. So this is going to be my here. Yes, I'm going to be here. I'm going to smoking weed. You know, hopefully not smoking as many cigarettes as I was smoking at the other place. So in the other place I actually went for, I think it was 14 or 21 days. But I had to, because it was a kind of a criminal thing, and you had to do that in order for the judge to go, okay, Mr. Houston, then we can go ahead and forget about this then. That's when, you know, things were illegal that are now legal, and maybe the things that are now illegal, one day they will be illegal, and we'll all be much nicer to each other than putting each other in cages for fucking plants and whatever else, you know, that really is deemed illegal, but then it's like it's everywhere. So it's like, guess who's looking the other way for some money, you know? I don't know. So that's my story. I'm here, and I'm gonna be as I'm gonna keep on making videos. I guess you can see if I failed or not. Show you. It doesn't really matter. If I fail doing it, then I'll start the next day from that. And I fail doing that, I'll start the next day and keep on shooting for those 2 weeks, right? Until I do, right? I'm gonna beat myself up every time I don't. That's enough. I don't need anybody else to beat me up, right? But that's what happens. Everybody else beats you up too. It's like, especially family. Family is the worst, man, because you've hurt the family so much because of what you've done. But the thing of it is that what our family is for? To be able to say, okay, you did this. Let's see, why did you do this, and how come? It's like, and why are you taking so personally what somebody else is doing to themselves, and what their journey is in this life is. That's that family thing. Sometimes family and friends is like people that don't know me understand me better than people that do know me, because the people that do know me probably didn't really know me all that well. So, right. So, and one thing I have to say about being in this place, I feel more comfortable with the people here. That's all I can say. It's like, the Sheraton, especially the Sheraton, the Sheraton, the other one, the Wyndham, and the Holiday Inn Express. They all had a lot of like touristy type people coming in. Now here you just got people just chilling for the weekend. Some people living here. It's like I met a 70-year-old African American Army vet. I was talking to him this morning. He was cracking me up, man. He's funny as hell. Missing his front teeth. So it was like really funny. But he was just like I went to Vietnam. I was like, thank you, dude. That's so cool. 67. It's like, I was born in 65. I was 3 years old, man. So yeah, but yeah. So that's so I feel more comfortable here with the people here. If that makes any sense. I've always had, right? Yes. Even when I was working in as a programmer for mostly banking, insurance, pharmaceutical, like those kind of companies, I found a lot of people that were very highly educated and very snobby. Just saying. I worked in a supermarket when I was 16 years old.